Tuesday with Thompson. The PT's here. I'm Mike Gill. That's Hunter Brody. Josh Henning producing today's show. We got who's in, who's out coming up. A lot of craziness going on. A lot of college football games have been canceled. Got some high school local teams canceled. The NFL, Eagles have a coach who has come down with COVID, changing their preparation for the New York Football Giants. But we got a lot to dive into on that. Pete Thompson, how are you, Peter?
MG, I'm always glad that I tune in and listen to the Sports Bash, even on the segments I'm not there, because I learn things like I didn't know about the mainland football team. I didn't know about St. Augustine and their issues, trying to find an opponent. Yes, it's always changing. You got to stay locked in the whole time. So
Yeah.
you know what's going on.
By the way, I heard you made your way into St. Augustine last week.
I did make my way in there. I mean, you helped me, though, albeit remotely, by, talking about the fact that, gee, I wonder if Pete Thompson's going to get in. And then I thought, oh, crap, I wonder if I'm going to get in. So then I had to start using the phone to try and reach out to some people to say, like, don't you know who I am? No,
wow, Tony La Russa
I was
over
just
here.
thinking the same thing.
That's not what I said. I reached out just to make sure they had a heads up that I was coming.
So you were one of the 500 people allowed in there? Like you took a ticket away from a parent or somebody that really...
You know that's not true. I mean, keep warming up your vocals there, pal. No. First of all, the game was already going, so the people that were allowed in were already allowed in. Secondly, I was considered part of the press contingent. Last time I checked, I still work for this radio station, don't I?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if they're part of the 500 people. I didn't know if they were part of the 500 people that are allowed in the building or not.
I did not take away anyone's seat. There was nobody at the gate looking forlorn, like, how come he gets to go in and we don't? I mean, come on.
That's all I was wondering. I mean, I'd hate to see you just standing on the sideline with your hands in your pocket when there's a family member on the outside looking in because you wanted to go.
That's not what I did. I actually did some media work, took a couple pictures, got to meet Cheeks Smith for the first time. Some things went into my Shore Local column. Look, I learned that from you, Double Dip. I was there for 97.3. I was there for Shore Local. Give me another outlet, I'd be there for them too.
All right. I'm just making sure I didn't want you to take an opportunity from a willing spectator. That's all.
I can see him doing that, too.
Absolutely.
Like, no doubt about it.
Give me a break. Look at you guys making me out to be the Grinch who stole Christmas. There's nobody that did, I can't even say it grammatically correct. No one was denied entry because of my showing up halfway through the first quarter, okay?
All right. Well, fair enough. First place Eagles at the break. Got the Giants coming up this week. All four teams are still in play for this thing. How you feel?
Well, I love the fact that they gained ground without even playing. I love the fact that the Washington football team, found a way to lose to the Giants. Although you get a little worried because now you start thinking like maybe this Giants team is on the rise, albeit doubling their wins. Look, I look at it like this. This division is a complete and total mess, and whoever's the least messy when it's all said and done is going to win with a pathetic amount of wins. But how do I feel? I still feel like the Eagles are in the driver's seat.
Well, I mean, are you excited about the second half of the season? They're getting healthy. They're in first place. Like, hey, you know what? I'm excited about what December. Doug changing the mojo.
Sorry, no. Excited, no. Curious, eager, or curious to look and see what happens. Yeah, no, I'm not excited. Am I throwing parties and having parades down the street? Absolutely not. I mean, there's still the stretch of Seattle, Green Bay, and the Saints still sitting out there. But I do think that they're in the driver's seat and they have the chance to control their destiny, as they like to say. And hey, I just looked at the game notes. My buddy's calling the game, Kevin Kugler. There you go. Graduated from radio, and now he's on TV all the time.
How about that? PT, did you happen to vote on our Twitter poll?
Oh, boy. Is it about poop again? I did not vote on the Twitter poll yet.
You don't need to bring that up. Come on, PT. We're over that. We're past that conversation.
I mean, did you ever talk to that neighbor?
Nope. Everything has worked out to this point, and that's all I'm going to say. Let's get to the Twitter poll question, PT. When you look at this division, all right, you have Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl. Ron Rivera, who's been to the Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy won one, and Joe Judge is a rookie head coach who has done a decent job to this point. Who do you have the most faith in as a head coach right now today?
I'm not picking Joe Judge. I do like Riverboat Ron, but I wouldn't like him if he was with my team. Mike McCarthy is a shadow puppet of, he's better as a coordinator. I'm going with Doug. I'm sorry. And I'm going with Doug. I just voted. I'm going with Doug out of those four names, I understand McCarthy won a Super Bowl, but how much of the Super Bowl did he win based on Aaron Rodgers and the personnel, and how much did he win actually by his coaching? I mean, yes, some of Doug's people that were around him might have helped with the Philly special, right? But Doug had the cojones or the stones all season long that season to be aggressive and go for it. The problem is, since that season, I mean, I couldn't believe that. I was reading about Carson Wentz today in an article today, and they're 17-17-1 in the 35 games that Wentz has started since his injury out in Los Angeles. That blows me away. I mean, it's like, what a rapid decline of your franchise quarterback, and what do you do about it?
Is that a product of him, or is that a product of what's around him? Because, injuries have been a common theme around him, or is it a product of coaching? Some people have thrown he's not coached hard enough.
I think it's like a trifold of all three. Obviously the talent hasn't been there, although last season, once Carson starts to trust somebody, then, look, have there been other hidden Travis Fulghams out there, or the receivers just stunk? I mean, that's your question that you're asking there. But then you sit there and kind of break down. This article was very comprehensive. I'm sure you read it too, Gil, about, whether it's deep throws or does he have time to throw, or, what's the window. I understand that he's behind a skittish. You can get a little skittish when you're behind an offensive line that isn't rock solid. I get that. And, 7 different offensive lines this season, or different offensive line combinations this season. But at the end of the day, you have to put that ultimately on Carson Wentz. The Carson Wentz that seemed to have the uncanny knack and football clock in his head has not been the Carson Wentz that we've seen so far this season. Maybe the switch changes. Maybe he built some confidence during the bye week and saw something on the film that the rest of us don't see, and the light bulb goes on. But I'm a little concerned.
After hearing that an Eagles coach did test positive, are you concerned about the impact of the preparation for the Giants on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the COVID is running wildfire through the NFL right now, and you saw Big Ben today, because he was in contact, so he has to go into quarantine. I just think that, the difference is, like in the NBA, they were able to get in a bubble and stay in a bubble, and in the NFL, they haven't been just the sheer numbers and the size, and then you kind of have, with the Raiders getting fined and things like that, that wild, wild West mentality of like, we're big, tough football players. It's not going to get us. And yeah, it is. I mean, it doesn't seem to be shy with anybody. College football, Trevor Lawrence had to stand on the sidelines in that awesome Clemson-Notre Dame game the other night. And you just see it running rampant throughout both college and professional football and high school, like we started off talking about mainland.
PT Tuesday with Thompson here. A lot going on. By the way, did you see the story about Tony La Russa?
I saw he got in trouble again, right? He sort of went over a curb or something like that, and it was the same thing that the DWI, right? The same thing that happened to him back when he was with the Cardinals and said he would never make that mistake again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he fell asleep at the stoplight or something in that one. That
was in the Cardinals one, yeah.
Yes, this time he told the police, he gave the classic, "Do you know who I am, brother?"
Oh, man.
I have some quotes. I have some quotes for you.
That doesn't work for Charles Barkley either.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What did he say?
He said, "Do you see? I'm a Hall of Famer baseball person. I'm legit. I'm a Hall of Famer, brother. You're trying to embarrass me."
Well, that's never going to go well in court, Whoever his defense lawyer is, good luck. I mean,
now
just shut up.
Where's the PT walking around aimlessly knocking on the window like, "Hey, buddy, you need a ride?"
Yeah, what do you mean? You wanted me to go out there and give Tony a ride? No, listen, now we have Uber. I mean, listen, that's on Tony then. It's one thing back in the day if you weren't getting a ride, but now that you have Uber and Lyft and all the other things, there's really no reason for you to be putting the keys in the ignition after you've had some. Unless you're just plain stupid. And I don't think Tony La Russa is stupid. I just think he's made a very bad mistake, very close to the time that he's been. Apparently this was in the wings, too. I did read that. It's in Phoenix or near Arizona and Maricopa County, and he said he was with the Angels at the time because he didn't have his White Sox gig yet, but they were sort of it doesn't bode well when the charges were filed in the wrong county originally. Now it's coming out. I mean, it's all a timing thing, too. He just signs this gig with the White Sox, and all of a sudden, here's this story breaking out like, yeah, this is who you signed, Hall of Famer or not, he's a moron, so that doesn't look
He was
good.
at Maricopa County. Was he counting votes?
I was thinking the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's exactly what it was. Yes, he was in Maricopa County counting the votes. That's 1-2, 1-2 for Joe, 1-2, 1-2-3 for Joe.
By the way, the Eagles have put out a statement that they have received confirmation this morning that a member of the staff tested positive for COVID-19. We do not know who that is, but they are now going to go into self-isolation, contact tracing. They're following the protocols. So obviously, PT, they're going to have to do their meetings and stuff all virtually this week now, getting ready for this game.
Yeah, which is a shame because, they did have the long break and the bye week, but they didn't go anywhere during the bye week. And if I'm not mistaken, they didn't go anywhere during the bye week also to try and prevent something like this.
Well, the teams, they're not allowed to.
Right, and here you have they basically were following every step, and yet somebody on the staff tests positive, which is, it's definitely going to be a wrinkle. And, and who knows, maybe this is the first domino to fall. By the time we get to Thursday and Friday, could we be talking about some players that are going to miss?
Possible, and, Sal Powell said this on Friday last week, which was that the players are having COVID fatigue. Like, they're tired of getting tested. They've been tested every day since August.
Tough. That's the new normal.
Well, it's not to like chastise them. It's just like he said, they're getting fatigued of doing it every day. Where you might have a day where you're just mentally like don't want to do it, and that could be the day that costs you. And like now you're having teams that are like 0-8, 1-7. Like how strict are they going to follow the protocols?
Right, you do worry about that, and remember, it wasn't long after the last Giants game, right, when some of the Giants players went out and got chastised because they had broken protocol or hadn't followed all the rules. You can do everything right yourself, and then somebody else can have an issue with it, and you come in contact with them, be it in a game or whatever, and then you run into a problem yourself. I look at it like this. Look, Doug had COVID, right? We forget about that. We're so far into this, what's wrong with Carson Wentz and why are they 3-4-1? You forget that Doug had COVID and had to sit for a week and do everything virtually. So when you talk about them having to prepare that way, that's kind of the new normal. Does it affect them? Sure, it has to a degree. But ultimately, it's going to be the guys that are able to play and on the field on Sunday against the Giants guys, not whether or not you had a virtual meeting when you were trying to do the prep.
You read my mind, though, because I was going to bring up that Doug Peterson had it, and I just wonder, once we find out who it is, we haven't really heard of, when someone tests positive, they make a statement if it's someone who is famous or, they put out a tweet or an Instagram post. You haven't really heard of someone get it twice, where they put out a post and then maybe 3 months later they put out another post saying, I got it again. What if it is Doug Peterson that got it again? I just feel we haven't even heard of that story yet.
Yeah, that would blow my mind. I don't think, and I think they've had some things where they've talked about, if you have it once, does that like the chickenpox? Does that mean you can't get it again? And I don't think that's been proven yet. Of course, yesterday we had the news about Pfizer saying they have the vaccine that's 90% effective. How convenient that news came out right after we have an official president-elect. But hey, we're swaying into politics, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I don't want to go down a sad road, but I definitely want to bring this up with you, Alex Trebek. I want to get your thoughts on that because I feel you probably have some sort of good story to tell with an Alex Trebek story for sure.
First of all, let's have a tip of the cap to the guy for fighting so bravely and so hard. He was taping shows all the way up until 6 or 7 days before he passed. That's unheard of, and he was in real pain. I saw the executive producer went on a couple of the ABC stations that talked about the fact that the guy would go out and do the show and then come back and almost collapse in his dressing room. He was such in pain from the treatments. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer is tough enough, and then the chemo on top of it is like that 1-2 punch that I don't know how he did what he was able to do. But I'm sad. I never met the guy. I bought his book after it came out, when that came out, and read it very quickly and enjoyed it. And he's like losing a family member because he's been in my house so long. In fact, the greatest game show host of my lifetime.
Wow,
who is Alex Trebek. That's easy for me.
Do you have a name to replace him?
Well, I mean, there's still some look. If you're putting people up on the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts, obviously Pat Sajak on wheel has been there for a long time. Chuck Woolery will be back in 2 and 2, still kicking around. I think even Bob Eubanks is still there. Whoopee, right? That's what they used to say on the not match game. What was it? Dating game? Not dating game either. Newlywed game. Good Lord, I'm getting my 70s game shows mixed up. But listen, it was to me. The name to replace him, I think they're going to put Ken Jennings in there. They've already started to work him into some video clues. We watched last night in my house. I had 11 right, by the way. I think I had 11 in the first round and 7 in the second round. Drives
bad,
Michael
Peter.
Crazy. Gets him pissed off because he says to me that it's BS that I can read the clues faster than him, and that's like illegal, that I wouldn't be able to ring in if I was actually on the game. Well, I'm not on the game. I'm just in the living room kicking your ass. Secondly, did you see the thing where Jim Schwartz said that he became a better defensive coordinator because of Alex Trebek in Jeopardy? I thought that was awesome. I mean, you have to make split-second decisions in the NFL. Well, PT makes split-second decisions when he's watching those clues pop up. Not always right, but hey, I'm pretty good.
All right, PT, we'll leave you with this. Did you see the new Sixer unis?
I did. I saw them this morning, and you guys picked up on the Easter egg on them, or did you pick up on it after somebody wrote about it?
I had to see someone write about it first.
The Easter egg?
Yeah, me too. I had to see somebody write about it. Oh, Gil, I know something you don't know. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I don't. No, somebody said I read that they put the TTP in there.
That's it. They call that an Easter egg in movies, like in Marvel movies, or Josh is going nuts right now, in film and TV shows and things like that.
I got you.
Little Easter egg. It's a little nugget for fans, you know what I mean? And
so I missed that reference that you made there. Okay.
If you look at Boathouse Row that's on Simmons's chest in the picture, right there, I mean, it's like Magic Eye, it's a schooner, that's Mallrats. When you first look at the thing, you see like, oh yeah, that's Boathouse Row. But then when you look at the poster, once you see it, you can't not see it. Yep. TTP right there. Nice job, Chris Heck, if he had something to do with that or whoever in the Sixers that.
Now, what do you think of them? Here's a question. You would know this better than me, I guess. The Boathouse Row, do people elsewhere, would they see that and automatically recognize what it is? No, I don't think so. I think Philadelphians will recognize what it is, but I don't think anybody else, or I don't think somebody in Provo, Utah knows what the hell Boathouse Row is, or somebody in Laramie, Wyoming, or, anybody like that. I don't think they know what it is. Although, as you know how color commentators and TV commentators are, when they do wear these unis, I'm sure the first thing they're going to highlight in is that it's Boathouse Row, and then the second thing they're going to do is go right to this TTP in there. So it'll get discussed quite a bit. Yeah, I just was
and Iverson likes him, so that's good enough for me. I think they're good.
I literally, it was like you're going to have this jersey on, like playing in Cleveland, and they're going to be like, "Why do you have some random neighborhood on your jersey?"
Fine, there's a lot of subtleties. But look, it's not to. I don't think they're trying to cater to the entire league. I think they're trying to cater to Sixers fans and the Sixers' storied history, right? Well, what else were you going to put on there? The Liberty Bell or something like that? Again, the Phillies already have that. What else are you going to put on there?
No, I agree. I said that before, that they've overdone the Liberty Bell and that kind of stuff. I get what their thought process was. I'm just saying I don't know that it's that recognizable outside of this bubble.
I would agree with you, but I also think that I'm sure when they do wear them, that whatever network is airing the game that night and whoever, that there's going to be enough discussion about it for what actually the buildings are. Not that it may not sink in, and again, I still use those outlying towns. Somebody, let me just keep going back to the Midwest. Is somebody in Grand Junction, Colorado going to give a damn about what those buildings are on the uni? No, but say lovey.
All right, Pete Thompson, Tuesday with Thompson. He's back for happy hour Friday with the PT right here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. And he, like all guests, appeared via the Boardwalk Honda hotline. Thank you, Peter.
All right, guys. Good job. Fun talking to you.
Yep.
Talk to you again on Friday.
All right, there you go.
Put him away.